Boom, boom, boom! Step into the big picture, unlocking timeless truths for today's world.
Welcome back. I'm your host Anandi, and joining me today is our resident economic analyst Arsalaan. Thanks for dropping by.
Always a pleasure, especially when we dive into these big picture topics. Wait for a second, is that the Arthashastra? I didn't know that you read Chanakya. Do you have any favorite quote from this book?
You got me. And yes, I do. My favorite quote is his most fundamental truth, delivered in Sanskrit. Kosher danda rahite ki raja nirbundir.
For our viewers, will you like to translate it into English?
Yes, of course. The king without an army and treasury is just a slave. That's our focus. Now, since history is my wheelhouse, I'll start. Chanakya saw the kosha, the treasury, and the dandar, the army or the force, as the literal body and soul of a state, soul of a good state. But a king with an empty treasury will have no resources to pay for his soldiers or government, making him just a puppet, a petty slave for those who control the money. Nevertheless, back then, King Chandragupta faced this harsh reality. When his kingdom lay in ruins, empty coffers, and scattered soldiers, leaving him completely powerless, Chanakya's wisdom sparked a fierce comeback. They mined the earth, filled the treasury once again, and railed the army with roars. And then, again, a new king rose from the ashes of defeat, one that did not rule by crown or power, but by strength and strategy.
Well, very well said. But Chanakya was a very visionary man. The quote he said more than 2000 years ago is still applicable today. It reminds me of debt crisis management in emerging economies. Anandi, will you believe me if I tell you that something similar to this actually happened in our contemporary world? East Germany, formed after Hitler lost World War II, was a Soviet puppet state. It totally relied upon USSR for economic and defense aids. As a result, when USSR dissolved in 1990, East German government couldn't even control its own revolting subjects who were very unhappy with the state's communist policies. As a result, it had to merge with its western counterpart West Germany, leading to the dissolution of the Berlin Wall and Americans winning the Cold War.
Wow, that's a powerful connection. Fiscal deficit is definitely the true enemy. But Arsalan, acknowledging what you know about today's complex, interconnected global economy, what would Chanakya say today?
Well, why don't we ask him ourselves? Squish, 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 squish. The king must know that it is his righteous duty to fill the state's treasury through ethical means. A state without an independent treasury is nothing but a shadow. A strong and independent country makes its own roads and defense. It does not borrow its freedom from other countries.
Wow, that's scalingly relevant. His message is clear. Economic discipline is the ultimate national defense.
Absolutely. Fiscal health isn't boring. On its contrary, it is the key to a nation's sovereignty and independence. Thanks for these insights, Anandi.
My pleasure. Well, that's it for today. Thank you, Arsalan, and thank you all for joining us on the big picture. This is Anandi signing off.